The following is a brief overview of a lighting audit platform that has been developed for use with most iOS and Android mobile devices. The goal of this auditing platform is to provide a user-friendly and comprehensive lighting audit tool that enables the user to quickly and accurately capture data, resulting in a high level of confidence at the end of the audit. So let's get started. The very first screen presented is the Apps screen, which will display all audit platforms created for use. The first input screen is the project header information screen, where the auditor documents general information about the building to be audited. The first field is a date stamp that automatically populates the current date. Next, there are 4 open text fields that enable the recording of auditor name, client name, project name, and building name. Finally, there's a pull-down menu used to record the building voltage. At this point, we're ready to proceed with the audit by tapping Next in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. We are now at the Audit Space Mapping screen. Note the blue Add New Row button on the upper center area of the screen. The New Row button activates a text field where the auditor assigns a value that references the space, either to an engineered drawing, an actual room number, or some other value assignment system. If you look closely at the blue Add New Row button, you will notice that it is flagged with a red asterisk. The asterisk identifies the field as a required input field, which means that the auditor cannot proceed to the next field or screen without recording an entry. Required input is an option that can be programmed into any data field on the platform. Pressing Add in the upper right-hand corner of the Add New Row box advances the platform to the Space Information screen. The first data field is Space Code, which is a pull-down menu of codes that identify the space being audited. This menu can be user-specific and must be programmed prior to the audit. The next field is a text field allowing for the input of additional information related to the space. For example, a uniquely named or less than common space that is not reflected in the previous space code field. Space height, length, and width are also text fields and particularly useful in areas where a potential fixture replacement might require that a photometric drawing be created at a later date. Fixture height has its own text field, which is particularly useful where the fixture height and the ceiling height may not be the same. Ceiling type is a pull-down menu, and light level readings is a text field enabling the auditor to add multiple foot candle readings. Space comments is a text field that allows the auditor to capture additional relevant details that were not recorded in previous fields. Lastly, there's an Add Controls checkbox to capture the lighting controls details for the space. Check the box, and the audit proceeds to the lighting controls screen. If lighting controls is not selected, the platform will skip the lighting controls screen and advance directly to the fixture details screen. Let's look at the lighting controls screen. Here we have a number of pull-down menu-driven fields to enable the auditor to capture the existing controls type and quantity, secondary controls type and quantity in the event that there's more than one control device, for example, a wall switch and a ceiling-mounted motion sensor in the same space. Next up are 4 fields that are intended to help the design team with the development of the proposed controls solution. Proposed control is a pull-down menu. Proposed control technology is a multiple choice field allowing all that apply to be selected. Proposed control quantity is a text field, and proposed power pack quantity is a text field in the event the suggested control solution includes wireless devices. At this point, we've completed the space screen and we'll move forward to the fixture details screen. On this screen, the audit begins by recording the total fixture quantity and egress quantity if applicable. Next, there is a series of pull-down menus that describes the fixture dimensions, the mounting style, the lens type, and the fixture type. There is a multiple choice driven section of features and options to further define the lighting fixture, and the auditor should select all that apply. Fixture condition buttons to define the fixture condition, and finally, an additional fixture comments screen. Next up, System Description. Click Next. The System Description screen captures all the lighting system variables by use of pull-down menus. The first is number of lamp types from 1 to 24 per fixture. Lamp type is recorded using choices from the pull-down menu. Lamp wattage is recorded using choices from the pull-down menu as well. Note that wattages of energy-efficient lamps are programmed with and display the energy-efficient wattage as well as the full wattage of the standard equivalent. For an example, an energy-saving 4-foot T12 fluorescent would be recorded as 34/40. Lamp diameter/shape is recorded using choices from the pull-down menu, and lamp variation pull-down menu further designates energy-saving and high-output lamps from that of their standard equivalent. Lamp base is recorded for further detail about the lighting system. CFL burn position is primarily intended to assist with the decision to retrofit or replace the fixture, particularly in the case of recessed can fixtures. Ballast technology lists commonly encountered technologies from magnetic to energy-efficient electronic. Finally, the ballast factor is recorded to help accurately determine existing lighting system wattage and lumen output. For miscellaneous system characteristics, the auditor should check all that apply. And finally, a text field to capture additional system comments to further assist with the design and development process. Now is a good time to recognize that many audit spaces have the same lighting fixture and/or lighting system characteristics, creating manual input of repetitive data, which can slow the audit process. To help address this, there is a Remember feature built into the platform that can be activated by clicking the white dots or spread operator in the upper right hand of the screen. By doing so, the auditor is given a window with choices of Remember, Recall, or Delete Row. By selecting the Remember function for now, the auditor is given a supplemental screen depicting the current screen fields, populated with the data just entered. The auditor has the option to store the data that were entered on that screen for all fields or specific fields on that screen. The selected field attributes will then carry forward and automatically populate the corresponding fields within subsequent space rows. If a system attribute changes in a subsequent space, the auditor can override the stored attribute by entering a new attribute. Note that this does not change the stored attribute. The auditor can turn off stored attributes at any time for specific fields or for all fields by revisiting the spread operator at the top right of the screen. Next up, System Upgrade, which enables the auditor to make a replace or retrofit recommendation while on site. Similarly, the auditor can suggest an installation degree of difficulty. And lastly, a text field for general installation comments. The last screen provides an opportunity to take an image or images of the space, fixture, system controls, or whatever may be necessary to accurately capture the nuances of the application. All images are time-stamped and tie the image to the respective audit line item. When finished with the images screen, click Done. This initiates a loop that brings the auditor back to the Audit Space Mapping screen, which is the starting point for the next row of data collection. From here, the audit follows the same data entry routine as previous. When the audit is complete, click Next on the Audit Space Mapping screen as opposed to entering a new Add New Row. This takes the auditor to the complete submission screen where the auditor can review all audit data entered simply by clicking Review Submission. Here, the Review Submission screen appears with screen headers, project information, and audit screen mapping. Select the audit space and the auditor will be able to review all data entered for that space. If edits are required, The auditor first backs out of the Audit Space window, followed by the Review Submission window. Next, the white return arrow in the upper left-hand corner takes the auditor back to the Audit Space mapping screen, where the space requiring edits can be selected. The auditor will then be walked through all data inputs for that particular space in the same manner in which the original data was captured. When finished, select Done to be taken back to the Audit Space mapping screen. When the auditor is satisfied that the audit is complete, click Next in the lower right-hand corner, which will take the auditor back to the Complete Submission screen. At this point, the audit can be submitted by clicking the blue Submit button in the lower right-hand corner. Note that the mobile device must be connected to Wi-Fi in order to sync properly, and if the mobile device is not connected to Wi-Fi, the audit will remain on the tablet until a Wi-Fi connection can be established. At that point, the audit will be safely stored in the cloud for future download. Thank you for watching. Please go to www.rightlightsolutions.com for more information, or email info@rightlightsolutions.com with your specific questions and interest.